Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I am your host, the Eradicator, and in this video I will take you on a journey as 3.14 is now live, guys. You probably know that, but I got to test it yesterday, and overall I thought that the test was rather satisfactory. I was able to fly the constellation Taurus on a pretty long trading trip, and this is what we will be reporting about. Of course, why are we going to do that? That's because the constellation Taurus is the trade variant of the constellation lineup, and it was finally made available with this patch. It is for sale right now. You can buy it with Warbond, which is fresh cash, for $160, or with store credits for $190. A pretty stiff jump, if you'd ask me. Anyway, guys, well, we are going to go to the starport right now to check it out, and well, it looks like your standard constellation. The big difference you can see in the back is that there is no Merlin. Instead, it is making up for the lack of docking bay with extra storage capacity for your cargo. Yesterday, I said that the cargo capacity was 168 ACU cargo capacity. I was actually wrong. It is a little bit more than that. It is 174 because there's an extra 6 SCU of cargo capacity added to the back of the ship because there's no Merlin. You can see that the elevator is still making that silly issue. Anyway, guys, we are having a wonderful giveaway as a result. We have 2 Constellation Taurus to give to 2 winners, obviously 1 constellation each. All you have to do is to subscribe to this channel, make sure you're in public settings, claim, answer the giveaway question I will ask later, and claim the prize within 10 days. Good luck to everyone out there. Also, thanks to Dragon Ghost on Discord, I have lots of gift cards, $25, $10, $10. I'm also adding 2 $10 gift cards as well, so we're going to have a couple of winners once more. It's always a lot of fun to throw that wheel of names many times. So let's have a look inside that constellation Taurus, and the first thing that strikes me is that the cargo bay is big. It is definitely much bigger than the regular constellation. The regular constellation has only 96 SCU of capacity, so 174 is definitely a huge boost compared to the original constellation. Now, of course, it makes up for that extra cargo with a couple of drawbacks, especially with its combat capacity. It has far less missiles, and also one of the turrets is gone. But the interior of the ship is pretty much the same, with the same kitchen and the same bunk beds and the same cockpit at the same time. So people who already own a constellation are going to be very familiar with this ship interior. Anyway, let's jump straight into it and let's fly that little ship here, which, gotta say, does feel a little bit heavier than the other constellations. Well, the constellations have never been great ships to fly, but because of its extended length here and extra potential cargo capacity, I think that this could be the reason why it doesn't feel so nimble, or perhaps because I am on cruiser. Anyway, it was also reported that since this is a gunship, and so it's not even a heavy fighter, it's even heavier than that, it's also possible why the feeling here has changed, because let's remember that in Star Citizen of 3.14, the whole flight mechanics have changed based on different ship classes, and so the heavier, the more difficult and less nimble to fly. So that could also explain why I thought that this was overall not a great ship to fly. If you're looking for a flight experience, definitely go for a Mercury Star Runner and not a Constellation. But anyway, that is not the point. This ship, of course, is a cargo hauler, but it also has decent firepower capacity, and this is why once we get outside of the atmosphere of Crusader, we will be taking a combat mission just because we can. So this is an ECN mission. I do not expect to be winning this mission. The reason why I took an ECN mission is because I want to see how this ship holds itself in combat. Because, well, we know that hopefully later this year, the Pyro system will come. It is an unlawful system. You should expect to be ambushed when you go to the Pyro system. But the Pyro system is also going to be offering great opportunities for trade because it is not uninhabited. People live there in outposts. There's also a station, rune station. All of these places need to be supplied. Look at how quickly it took here to destroy that other constellation, Andromeda. That was very impressive there. Wow, and that's because it has a lot of potential shots here in the capacitors. We're talking about 141 shots in the capacitors. These are size 4 laser repeaters here that the Constellation has, 4 of them, which is a lot of firepower here at your fingertip. Sure, this ship is not maneuverable at all, but when it does hit its target, it hits it really hard. And if this is what it can do to a Constellation, then we can imagine that it can do a lot of damage to any other ship. So there we have it, guys. Very easy to take down Constellations. Now, of course, I failed that mission, so that's why we're not seeing the rest of the outcome of that mission, simply because I just didn't have any enough speed and maneuverability to take care of all the different enemies that were attacking the NPC that I was supposed to protect. But that's not the point. The point was to see on whether or not it would survive an encounter with a powerful enemy like another Constellation, and it can certainly hold its own. So that is extremely positive. But of course, the main bread and butter of the Constellation, the Taurus, is trade, and that's what we are going to do right now. I'm going to take you on a trade journey and see how many SCU of cargo capacity it can hold, and just go to various trade outposts on roll to rediscover the Stanton system, which quite frankly I haven't done much trading for a long time, because we all know how broken trade is. It has been in a pretty bad state for a couple of patches now, simply because the devs are preparing for the next trade update, which is going to come at some point in the future. But trade is going to be changing a lot, because everything is going to be physicalized and not just random data put there and symbolized by empty boxes. Everything is going to be real, movable, lootable, and that is going to be of course a lot of work, and it will be very different from what we are experiencing right now. So where am I here? I am at Deakin Station on Yela, which is a station that probably a lot of you guys will be visiting for the Ninetales lockdown, because you're going to have to buy medical supplies, which is what I'm buying here, and that's because the station that will be blockaded by the Ninetales will need some medical supplies. So if you want to be buying it, go here at Deakin's, and looks like the maximum available stock here is 46 SCU of medical supplies, which for a Constellation is not so bad. So we're going to buy everything here for 79,000 alpha UEC, and then we'll buy the rest with stims here. I can buy everything, not everything, but I can buy enough to fill in the rest of that Constellation Taurus. So the next job is to see on where we are going to be able to sell all of that cargo across the Stanton system. Of course, the easy way, the fastest way to make money. This is not a make money video, by the way. It's just I'm just trying to go to different locations with the Taurus. If I wanted to make money, I would go straight to Lorville or to New Babbage or to any of those big landing zones where I'll be able to sell everything straight away. This is not the point of this video. The point of this video is just to enjoy flying the Constellation Taurus and do what it does best, which is to fly from one place to another and hold cargo. That's basically what it does. So we are going to go to another place here on Yela. We're basically going to be doing a moon-to-moon trade here, staying in the same mood. So I'm just going a little bit outside of the atmosphere, and once we are high enough, I will stop the engines, turn around, and there we go. Just like here, I'll just turn around, and I'll be looking for a place where I'll be able to sell some of my stuff, buy more commodities, and go to another location, because that's basically what trade is right now in Star Citizen Alpha 3.13, 3.14, and probably still in 3.15, right? So don't expect to be holding large amount of medical supplies or large amount of minerals, simply because that's not these locations. I think that as long as we are not going to have the cargo decks on some of the major stations working, the cargo decks are just here for the show, but they're not doing anything. So as long as we're not going to have functional cargo decks, I don't think it will be possible to buy really large quantities of goods here. So that's something that you need to keep in mind when you are trading with a Constellation Taurus like that, or Freelancer Max, which is maybe its main competitor right now in the verse. You're just there to have some some good time riding your ship from one place to another, buying and selling whatever you can. And if you can make a little bit of money on top of that, that's great, but it's not really the point here. The point is just leaving the verse, being a part of this not so much living, breathing, but beautiful Stanton system, and going about your business from one place to another. So that's what I'm doing basically. So we are going to go to Benson Mining Outpost now. And Benson Mining Outpost is, it used to be an interesting place because it used to be in a crater. But of course, since in Star Citizen 3.12, all the planets and moons have drastically been updated and completely been redone. And all of those locations from the old time backers like myself who used to do trading back in 3.0 all the way till now, those places are obviously very different from what they used to be in the past. And I gotta say that Yela does look far better than in the past as well. I really wonder what those lakes, I don't know if you noticed that, are these ice or are those liquids? It could be interesting to actually explore those one day in the future, maybe on a live stream or maybe another video if I have time. Anyway, going to Benson Mining Outpost here, it is one of those places where you can buy some minerals. So we are going to be doing that right here. Well, at least in the past here at Benson, you could buy some minerals. I don't know if that is still the case or not. We will see what is available here. Now, the problem is that I wish that those outposts would be visible from farther away. That's an issue that we have in 3.14, is that you need to be at about 3 kilometers so that finally it appears, and that's not really good, right? I wish that it could be like in Elite Dangerous, where you can see the outpost from tens of kilometers away. But obviously it's not really the case. Now you can also see the textures of the planet, which look very repetitive. That is not particularly beautiful as well. And I really hope that this is also something that the devs are going to be working on in the future, because this needs also to be fixed, in my opinion. Difficult to land a constellation, as you can see here. It tends to be diving on its nose, but if you keep your engines on, it will go back to a normal position. So here, let's see what we can sell at Benson Mining Outpost. How many of the med supplies are they going to take? Ooh, they're not taking a lot of stims here. Only 7 SCU of stims. Well, let's sell them right there. Here we go. Not much, not worth so much, but as I said, you're not going to make a lot of money with trade. It's more about the journey than the profit. And here is not a lot, not a lot of medical supplies as well. That's okay. That's okay, as long as we don't have a 30k error. And so far, I've played about 3 hours in 3.14. I've only had one 30k error, so it seems the servers are not that unstable, especially after a first 2 days of release. They only have gas and astatine here. That is new. The last time I went to Benson, they had minerals. It seems that now they only have gas and especially astatine. Well, we're going to buy some astatine then. Maximum available stock. I sold just a handful of SCU of cargo, and I can't even buy enough astatine to fill the cargo. That shows you guys. That shows you that trade is not in a great state right now. But anyway, let's buy some fluorine then as well. Okay, at least I can fill in with 1 SCU of cargo capacity the fluorine here. Not a lot of fluorine, but hey, better than nothing. The constellation here is still full, so the transaction has succeeded. Let's get out of here. And I think that we're pretty much done here with the Stanton system. I could just go around the Stanton system and go to the outpost and buy and trade like that, but eventually it's not that much fun. What's fun is to go to various moons and outposts across the various planets of the Stanton system. And I know a classic that you guys probably missed, right? It's been a long time since we haven't gone to one of the moons around planet Hurston, and of course you guys will know which moon it is, right? We are going to the moon of Ariel, because on Ariel there are 2 outposts that are very interesting for traders. These are of course Lathan and Bezdek. I am going to Lathan right now, And on Lathan, you can buy some laranite and titanium, which are commodities that are worth quite a little bit of money here. Usually profit is quite decent when you are trading laranite and titanium, and so that's what we are going to do as we are landing here again at one of those pads. Now again, that's what I said here, landing a constellation is always a little bit tricky because it's got its landing pads in the back of the ship, but the front of the ship is also quite heavy, so it's quite an imbalanced ship when you are landing it. And so if you don't want to be diving nose first onto the pad and eventually damage your ship too, you have to do some really smooth maneuvers here, as I'm trying. At the same time, there's a storm happening, so it doesn't make it easy to land the ship. Probably I was not satisfied with that landing here, but we'll just turn off the engines, and oh no, it's still diving nose first. You can see, not so great. Now there's a workaround if you don't want to be looking ridiculous like that. Luckily no one else is here, so no one else, so you are the only guys who saw that, right? But just turn on the engines, make sure your VTOLs are on, and the VTOLs are going to rebalance the ship. I'm not doing anything, I just press K to turn on the VTOLs, and it rebalanced the ship and positioned it properly. So if you don't want that from happening, just press K, and that's what's going to happen. So let's sell here what we can sell. Usually those outposts on Ariel do have larger inventories. There we go. We can sell all the medical supplies here for 89,000 Alpha UEC. That is a great sale. Pretty satisfied here with that trade. That was a good idea to go from Yela to Ariel here. And we can also sell all the stims here. Fantastic. So no, I don't think we're selling all the stims. No, the cargo, the inventory was full. That's fine. That's fine. We still have a couple of those, but that means that we now have room to buy some of the minerals here, including laranite. Unfortunately, only 4 SU of laranite available, but it's still about 9,000 of UEC, so it's quite a decent chunk of money if you are a young trader with not a lot of cash. So that's also something you need to keep in mind. Obviously, the Constellation Taurus is not a top-tier trader, right? It's not a Caterpillar with 576 SU of cargo capacity. It's not a C2 Hercules with 624, right? So you are going to, you are definitely going to be buying not as much cargo as you would with some of those other ships, which is why it's like, I would say, like a mid-tier trader. Anyway, I got rid of the lights so I can see properly what I can buy. Titanium here, inventory full, buying a lot of titanium. There's always a lot of titanium here available, and if there's not enough titanium, you can still buy some tungsten, which is not fantastic, but it's better than nothing, right? So we're filled with titanium and tungsten and astatine at the same time. And well, I'm going to go first. I need to leave the outpost. There we go. And we are going to go to Everest Harbor first. And there is a reason why I'm going to Everest Harbor. For those of you who don't know what Everest Harbor is the big station that orbits planet Hurston, which is the parent planet of this planetary system here. And the reason why I'm going that is because Everest Harbor is going to be my respawn point. I want to be respawning next time at Everest Harbor. And since we're here, it's also going to be a good opportunity to see if Everest Harbor is buying anything that we have. After all, Everest Harbor has a cargo hub, right? So since it has a cargo deck, I mean, you would think that it would have enough inventory to be buying a lot of what we have. It would make sense, right? Well, of course, you are going to see that it's not really going to be the case as we are heading now to the station and the admin here. Oh my goodness, people are still standing on chairs. We can see less NPCs standing on chairs, but it's still happening in 3.14, but not as common as before. So I would say that this is quite a positive. So let's sell what we have here. Come on, what do we have? Let's see, Constellation Taurus. They are only buying the stims, and they are only buying, well, 44 SU of cargo here of stims. That's about that's about the cargo you would have in a cutlass, for example, which is very interesting, right? Because earlier I was able to buy 46 SC of cargo capacity of medical supplies, which is exactly the cargo you have in a cutlass. Here they're buying steams, which is what you have, 44 is almost what you have in a cutlass. So would it mean that the cutlass is like the ship to go if you want to be trading in those patches? Very interesting, right? I mean, it's a decent ship to be for combat as well. It can hold its own. So maybe if you are doing the Ninetale event, the Cutlass Black could be an interesting ship. No, I am not buying scrap. No, thank you. And so, since we still have quite a lot of cargo in that constellation, we are going to one of those landing zones where they are going to be buying everything. And you might have recognized New Babbage here, the capital of Microtech. And so we are not going to go to the starport. Instead, we are going to go to the commons, and I will show you how to land at the commons just outside of the commons without having to go to the starport. And the reason why I'm doing that is because by doing so, I can log out of the game and respawn at Everest Harbor, which is the reason why I set Everest Harbor as my respawn point, because I do not want to respawn at New Babbage. It's just too far from everything. I mean, the only good thing about being at New Babbage is that you can get much closer to the Genothreat event if it happens. Yeah, that's true. But at the same time, you can also quantum travel from Everest Harbor to Microtech, and it would take you the same amount of time that it would take you to, leave your hab, go to the metro, go to the starport, leave the atmosphere. That takes a long time too, right? So you can see that there is a pad outside of the common. I bumped the top of my ship again. There's a pad here just outside of the common, and this is, you need to have a little walk, obviously. So we're going to take a walk, and at night, yeah, don't be afraid, right? There's not much visibility. I just wished that we could have some of the lights. I think there used to be some lights outside. I forgot, but it would be great if there could be some lights to guide the players all the way from the pad to the entrance of New Babbage, because I remember the very first time I did that, the first time I landed at the pad outside of New Babbage, I got lost so bad, I had no idea where it was. Eventually I gave up. So you really have to know the path all the way from the pad to the entrance of the commons. Looks like somebody else also landed here outside of the entrance, and there we go. This is the hangar where you can spawn some ground vehicles, and it's also where you can enter this little well, it's not really a lock, right? It's just it's just the door, right? Some spawn closets here. Hopefully one day some NPCs will be coming out of those. And well, you're gonna have to take the elevator in order to go to the main hub there. So gonna have to wait for the elevator. I just wish that we had a little music, right? It's one of the things that I think that Elite Dangerous did elevators pretty damn well with the little fancy elevator music coming up. So, it sounds quite it's quite funny. So that's something that I miss here. Anyway, oh my goodness, what is going on here? I got the exterior view, and I'm flying through the planet, waiting to come here. Looks like it is showing that these are not real elevators, right? You're just being teleported, but that's okay. It's just game magic. It's okay to have game magic in a video game. It's not reality. It's a game, right? So we are now going to the TDD, the Trade and Department. And let's use the console here, and normally at the landing zones you should be able to sell everything, whether you go to Lorville, to Area 18, or here at New Babbage. And so we look at that, we have about 100,000 credits here that we can sell. I started, by the way, at 100 at 1 million at 1,135,000 credits. So we are going to see how much money we have at the end of this trading run, which of course you are just here we are at 24 minutes into the video, but in real time it took me an hour and 40 minutes to do all of that. I didn't see time fly. It was really quick because I was really enjoying myself. But if you're really looking into the money and see how much money I made for that, as I said, I didn't do that for the money. I just did that for the experience. If you want to do that for the money, just go straight from the outpost to the TDDs, and you'll be making far much more money per hour than what I did. Sometimes the screens just kick you out like that. It's very annoying. Now let's keep on selling here all of the titanium. It's a pretty decent price as well. Selling here the rest of the stims too. Here we go. That wasn't much money, but it's better than nothing. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Processing the order. Yeah, the servers tend to be a little bit overloaded sometimes when there are 50 people in the server. And let's sell all of the astatine that we bought a little bit earlier too. Here we go, processing order. And I am going to end up here with 1,158,000 alpha UEC, which means that I have made 24,000 alpha UEC, which is not a lot. But again, not much of a surprise because, well, trade is kind of broken right now. But I would say that having a Constellation Taurus is an investment for the future when trade is going to be completely refactored, and it's still a ship that allows you to fight, as you could see earlier in this video. That's all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. A big shout out to Dr. Forbin, who is also providing us with one of the Constellation Taurus that we are giving away this month. Again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and answer the giveaway related question, guys. Are you interested in a Constellation Taurus? Is this a ship that you would fly as a daily ship, or is it more like a niche ship, as some people say in the comment section down below? I'd like to know. Also, shout out to Tala and Eric on for sponsoring the channel more than they should on Patreon. That is very appreciated. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more content on the channel. Thank you so much for watching again. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later. This video is brought to you by the people who support this channel on Patreon and via the join button as well. Supporters of the channel get access to lots of cool perks, such as access to my private Discord, your question answered in the show, you get to know when I'm going to play, and also you get to have a chance to influence the editorial line of the channel. Any help is appreciated, starts at just $1 a month. Thank you very much for watching. This is the Eradicator, and I'll see you guys later.